I'm Penny Dare, and this is Cell Block Cats. We're here at the home of Ted and Valerie Rock, whose simple act of kindness in adopting a small kitten that nobody else wanted has resulted in a 4-year-long adventure story. Let's go in now and meet Ted and Valerie and Yoda, probably the most famous resident of Downers Grove, Illinois. Yoda is a pretty ordinary cat when you get right down to it. He's sociable and politely interested in new people. He loves treats, and of course, the occasional scratch behind the ears. All 4 of them, that is. That's right. Yoda was blessed with a difference that has changed the lives of his owners, Valerie and Ted Rock. How could they have known back in 2006 how an impulsive decision to adopt a 6-week-old kitten would change their lives? The whole thing started when they walked into a bar.
My wife and I are retired, and we are regular volunteers. One of the places we volunteer quite often is the Greater Chicago Food Depository. And if you volunteer there a lot, you meet a group of people who are there often. And we have developed friendships outside the food depository. And once in a while we get together and have a few cocktails. This happened to be one of those days. We had gathered at a bar on the south side of Chicago, actually Blue Island, in a little pub, neighborhood pub, to watch a Bears game. And it was in October 2007. And while we were in the bar, enjoying our friends and having a couple of pops, the wife of the owner of the bar came in with a kitten in a cage, and she wanted to get rid of it. It was the last kitten in her litter, and this cat was strange. He had 4 ears. And they were passing him up and down, the patrons of the bar, and looking at him, and his ears are split actually, and it looks like he has horns right in the middle of his head. Mm-hmm. So they were calling him Devil Cat and Beelzebub and devil freaky things, and passing him kind of like a hot potato around the bar. The food server, the lady waiting tables, was a friend of ours who used to work at the food depository, and she brought the cat over to our table so we could enjoy this fun that was going on at the bar. Mm-hmm. And when it got to me, he kind of snuggled up here on my neck, and I looked at that cat, and I said to Valerie, "You want a cat?" And she said, "Sure." So
were you kidding or were you serious?
I was serious. I said to her, I think this kitten could be a lot of fun. He's very unusual, and I think we should take him. And she said, "I'm with you." So we took him home. I'm glad we did. It is a rescue. We had a cat that had just died the previous July that we had had for 20 years. And we had agreed between the two of us that we weren't going to have any more cats because we like to travel, and you have to take care of animals when you travel. Right. And but had he not been so unusual, we would probably not have rescued him. But it was certainly a lot of fun. But we had no idea that he would become world renowned and in every newspaper in the world, that he would be on television and People magazine and National Geographic and Ripley's Believe It or Not and numerous other interviews. It has been quite a ride for us to have this rather normal cat who has been very well known in the world.
Mm-hmm. The story is interesting to me in part because it was an act of kindness that was so spontaneous. You weren't planning on getting another pet.
That is true.
He's not really a cat person either.
You just responded to an impulse, and now they say cats pick you. You don't pick the cat, but in a way, he did pick you. He did pick you.
He did. I would say that's for sure. he did really.
He snuggled
He
right up.
really
in
snuggled
here.
up on my arm and really captured my heart at the very first moment.
That's true.
And I just couldn't get over how unusual he looked. And yet I looked beyond that, not thinking he was a freak or that I wanted to hurt him or exploit him, or I just wanted to enjoy him for who he was.
Was there sort of a concern about what his fate might be if you didn't take him?
Absolutely.
We've talked about
Start
that
to
many
think
times.
maybe
and,
what's going to happen to this little guy?
it was about 2 weeks before Halloween. You hear about shelters not letting black
That's
cats
true.
go
That's true.
at Halloween time.
It is correct.
Because of what people might do to them.
That's right.
And it was kind of one of those things that he was so, he has a devil cat look. He has horns. I mean, there's no question that he looks pretty weird. But I just looked beyond that. It didn't look like a devil to me.
Uh-huh.
He just looked like
There
a
were
lot.
some people at the bar that were actually frightened of him.
No
And
way.
Yeah.
When we were walking out, a gentleman tapped me on the shoulder and said, "If I were you, I'd leave that cat here."
You're kidding.
No, and so I really feel like we did rescue the cat. Who knows what would have
What
happened?
would have happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very.
And we think there were 6
Striking.
or 7 kittens in the litter, and all the rest of them had been given away.
And were all the others normal? He
Yes.
was the only one who had
Yes.
the double ear.
Right.
Actually, about a year after we, adopted the cat, we did run into the woman who adopted another cat from the same litter, and she rejected our cat in favor of the one that she adopted. So we do know that they were all normal, except Yoda was the last cat.
Now, the event at the public library I thought was very interesting because it seems like Yoda has provided kind of a teachable moment, maybe a lot of teachable moments for children to not be afraid of something
It's
that
a little
looks a little
unusual.
different.
Right. Actually, the children accept him right away.
They
Some of
did,
the
didn't
adults
they?
are a little standoffish, but
That's that's very interesting that maybe it's the people who are learning are the adults and the kids
I'm
are
inclined
the
to think
ones.
that's true.
The kids are the ones who are kind of leading the way in understanding that it's just another creature. Just another one of God's creatures.
Yeah.
Recently, Valerie and Ted took Yoda to an appearance at the Downers Grove Public Library with a crew from Animal Planet in tow. The scene was mild mayhem. Kids brought their Star Wars toys from home, and parents warmed to the idea as Animal Planet energetically worked the crowd. The whole family is to appear in Animal Planet's new show, Must Love Cats, to be hosted by John Fulton.
All right, everybody. How's everyone doing? Good. It's a pretty cool cat, huh? Yeah. Yes. My name's John Fulton. I'm from a show called Must Love Cats on the Animal Planet. It'll be on in 2011. We came all the way out here to meet a really cool cat. So this is not about me. This is about the cat right here. I already hear a baby crying, which isn't a good sign. I'm so excited when you see this cat. All right, let's see. No, I know. Me too. We've been all over America, and this has to be one of the coolest cats that we've met. We've been on the road now for about 50 days, meeting so many cool people. This is top notch. Seriously, one of the coolest cats. So, without further ado, Valerie and Ted Rock and Yoda. Big round of applause for this cool cat.
The guest of honor took all the attention pretty much in stride, which is no less than we might expect, given his wise and patient namesake.
Grown to maturity. I think more of them are born, but they don't survive because they have other things wrong.
Ted and Valerie patiently answered everyone's questions.
The one we know about is in Germany.
Valerie gamely took every opportunity to encourage families to adopt.
Go ahead. So Valerie, how amazing is this right now?
This is amazing.
Did you expect this kind of turnout?
I did it.
And how cool is he right now? He's handling it pretty well.
He's really doing well right now.
What do you guys think of Yoda up close? Did you guys believe it? 4-year cat, did you believe it? Hey, I talked to you before.
John Fulton is a very talented musician, but his instrument is guitar and voice.
Okay.
But in our house, we have a harp because my wife plays the harp. And John saw the harp, and him and the producer were all excited about this harp. John sat down and learned how to play the harp in about 20 minutes, wrote a song about Yoda, and it'll be on the segment on Animal Planet because he sang it 20 times to get it right. But it was cute. It was really cute. So he played the harp and sang.
Well, we'll all look forward to seeing that. How did you connect with Animal Planet?
2006.
He was a kitten.
Okay. He was a kitten. He's 6 weeks old when we took him.
Okay.
It was 2 years later, and Glenn, Valerie's son, was taking these pictures, and he posted them on this website that he has that photographers look at. It's called Flickr, and he posted a portfolio of pictures of Yoda on Flickr.
I see.
A news media outfit in England called Barcroft saw the pictures, and they contacted him to see if they could run a story with those pictures. And they wanted to know something about it. So he put them in touch with us, and they called us and interviewed us, and they liked the story about the bar and the rescue. You know, that whole thing that makes it kind of cute. So there was a combination of the cute story, the rescue, the unusual look of the cat, and these wonderful pictures that Glenn had taken. And Barcroft bought the pictures and the rights to the story. And Barcroft is like Associated Press. Barcroft is to the international news media as AP is to the U.S. service. So Barcroft put this out on their wire, and within a week, we were getting websites from London and Japan and Australia and other parts of the world, Germany, where major papers were picking up these pictures.
I'll be darned.
About a week later, maybe two, Associated Press called Glenn and asked if they could have rights to the pictures. And each of these news people paid him a little bit. Not as much as you would think. Just
It's
a little
been an
bit.
education about images have value.
Yes.
Anyway, AP bought it, and next thing we knew, it was in the second page of Chicago Tribune. There were on the Chicago Sun-Times. It was on the front page in the corner at the bottom. Then on the third page was a full page with pictures and story about the cat. And then we got calls from Spike Odell. Remember Spike Odell? WGN radio in the morning.
Sure.
Spike Odell invited us down to the studio, and we did about a half hour one Monday morning with Spike Odell. First time I'd met him. I had no
Why would you?
Why would I? But you know, it was such fun. I mean, how often you get to meet? How often you get to meet a radio celebrity like Spike Odell? And he was delightful. And it's on YouTube. You can still look at it. It's still out there.